Hi, welcome to another Adobe InDesign CC 2020 Classroom in a Book, Chapter 2, Getting to Know InDesign Tutorial. I know you're so excited to learn this one. All right, so for this one, we're really going to pay attention to how to create guides, how to use some styles, a lot of really basic things that you truly need to know to make Adobe work and InDesign work the way you want it to. So let's go ahead and go to our lesson 2. And go ahead and grab that start file. As you know, the end file is there. You can always use it to take a peek at what you're creating later on. All right, so once again, it's going to ask us, do we want to update the links? Go say yes, update the modified links. All right, we see it's got 2 errors, which we'll look at in a little bit. And let's go ahead, do our file, save as. Make sure you're in your lesson 2 folder. First initial, last name, underscore, InDesign, Classroom in a Book, Chapter 2, and save. All right, for this one, we're going to go ahead and make sure we're in the Essentials workspace. So we're going to go up here to our workspace and come down here to Essentials. That way we'll make sure that we've got the different types of panels where we want them to be when we're looking for them. So one of the first things we're going to do with this one is play with our guides. So instead of right now, we're on the preview mode. Preview mode's really pretty, but it's not a good way to design because you don't get to see a lot of the tips and hints that InDesign is trying to give you, especially things like spelling errors. So let's make sure we come down here and switch into our normal mode. All right, so in normal mode, we get to see the frames, we get to see things on the pasteboard. We can tell editable, it's asking, things that should be capitalized or something should be different. So it really gives us those clues that we might not have otherwise. So the first thing we're going to do is go to our view, and we want to come down to grids and guides toward the bottom, and we want to do show guides. So that means things like turn on any guides you've brought in there, bring in the bleeds, bring in the guides for different types of margins. All right, we also want to do type, and we want to do show hidden characters. Hidden characters let us know things like, here's a paragraph, here's a forced break. Just makes it a little bit easier to see what's going on. All right, so now what we're going to do is, it doesn't actually want us to add any guides. Okay, so we're just going to keep going. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is add some text. So let's go ahead and grab our text tool. And now we want to go to the word cafe, which is here. It says cafe and bar, so let's double click it. And we're going to change it to bistro instead, B-I-S-T-R-O. And we want to go ahead and change it a little bit. So let's make sure we're in our properties over here on the right-hand side. Properties is going to give us a bunch of different things. Right now we're in text, so it's going to show us character and paragraph, which are things we need to play with for this. So let's go ahead, and we've got Myriad regular right now. So let's go ahead and change that to bold. Myriad's one of those, we don't have anything selected. So let's go ahead and triple check it to select the whole thing, and now let's grab bold. So Myriad's one of those typefaces that has multiple typefaces. That's why you get all these different types of emphasis. All right, so we went ahead, did that. Let's do a Control S and save. So now we're going to import and flow some text. So we're going to grab our selection tool. Make sure we click out here on our outside of the board so nothing is selected. And next thing we're going to do is do a file and place. We're going to bring in some content. And we want to make sure that show import options is not selected. And we want to go ahead and grab this one. Let's make sure we're in lesson 2. We want to grab that bistro.docs. So it's going to be the text and say open. And we're going to get a loaded text icon. So you can kind of see how I've got this beginning of a paragraph on my cursor. So we're going to go ahead and take that over the text frame, this first one right here, and we're going to click. So now we're going to find that we've got some problems because it doesn't all fit. So we want to go ahead and what's called thread these two together. So anything that doesn't fit in this container goes into the next one. So in the future, you might want to just do one text box with two columns, but we'll show you how to thread. So let's go ahead with our selection tool. Let's do it. I'll show you that little plus. The little tiny plus sign right there. We're going to go ahead and click it. And we're going to get another loaded. And we're going to click right up here. And now we've got our text. So what's nice about that is, watch this. If we do this and make this smaller, it's going to move things. Now let's do it the other way. Back and forth the other way into the other bucket. So that's why you want to thread. Always thread. Don't try and do multiple things. It's okay that it doesn't fit right now. We know that we've got a little bit more text that's overset right now. So we will mess with that as we start to play with the styles and things that go into here. So let's do a Control S and save. So let's go ahead and talk about styles. Styles make it so you can make global changes really easy with just a few clicks. So it saves you a lot of time when you're trying to create things. Paragraph styles have things like text attributes. They apply to anything that's in a particular paragraph. So this has got a text style or paragraph style. A character style means it's only selected text within a paragraph, and you can have object styles as well. Object styles are things like drop caps or some types of glows. So it really depends on what you're trying to do. You will be using styles throughout your publications, so make sure you understand how to create these and get in the habit of doing it. All right, so one of the first things we are going to do is apply some paragraph styles that are already created. So let's grab our type tool. And let's go to Edit and select all. Hold on, where are we at? We want to be in this. Okay, we want to click in this one. So we're going to be in here. Now we want to do an Edit, select all. So it's going to select all that stuff. And now we want to go to our Properties panel. And we've got our paragraph styles here. So instead of normal, we want to go ahead and change it into body copy. So this should fix part of our problems of, oh, it's giving me extra. And select out. I want to scroll down. So yeah, this went ahead and fixed our problem of the overset text. So now the next thing we're going to do is we want to make sure that these starters and small plates, we want to make some kind of emphasis there. So let's grab our text tool. Starters and small plates. Let's highlight that one. And let's go ahead and I'm going to grab my paragraph styles here over on the side. So there's lots of different ways to get to them. And this time we want to do the subhead. And we want to do the same thing to the entrees and desserts. All right, so that go ahead and pop that over to the other side. Let's do Control S. All right, the next thing we're going to do is going to format some more text to create our own character styles. So now let's find this Rosé Martini, and let's go ahead and highlight it. So you can either use a style that's already defined, or you can define it and then create a style. So this time we're going to go ahead and let's make it italic. And let's see, we want to do the swatch. We want to change the color from black to the red color. So let's do red bright. So kind of make it a rosé. All right, and let's go ahead and deselect that. Come out here to our selection tool and do Control S to save. So now we've created Rosé Martini, but we want to be able to use that on other things. So let's go ahead and grab that text tool and let's grab that word Rosé Martini and let's go to type and then character styles. It's kind of towards the top-ish here. All right, and character styles is going to pop open. And at the bottom of the panel, you can either do a new character style from here, or you can go to the hamburger menu and do new character style. And we're going to call it red italic is the new name. And we're going to go ahead and it's going to tell us, okay, it's red italic, which means that you want it to be italic. We want the character color to be this rose. Okay, let's go back to general. We want to make sure that apply style to section is selected. And let's go ahead and say okay. So now if I look at my character styles, I've got this new style called red italic. So let's go ahead and use it. Let's go ahead and do the zucchini blossom fritters, and make it red italic. Or braised dandelion greens, let's make it red italic. And let's go ahead and go down to here and do the orange ginger seared scallops. And the chive flour flatbread. And it's up to you as to whether or not you're going to include the punctuation after it or not. So right now you see it's telling me things like the red underline saying, hey, you've got some spelling errors here. You should probably look at these before you turn it in or finish this up. All right, so let's go ahead and do a Control S and save. Oh, but let's add some more to this other one as well. So let's do lavender honey grilled chicken as red italic, and fresh basil pesto, red italic. So pretty much anything that's a food. Violet macaroon or candied pansies. All right, now you might notice that you've got a few things going on here that you might not necessarily like. I've got some hyphenation happening, so I'm going to go ahead and select that here. I'm going to go into my window, my styles, my paragraph styles, and these are the ones that are already created. I'm going to go to window, styles, and just, where's paragraph? Okay, it's there. I'm not seeing what I'm looking for. All right, so let's go ahead and while we're in here, so let's go back to our type tool. All right, here it is. So I want to go ahead and select, I don't know why when I select here it doesn't give me the hyphenation. All right, so to turn hyphenation off, we're going to go ahead and triple click all of it and turn this hyphenation off here at the bottom. So that is where you will go ahead and turn off. It could be because we're in a little bit different workspace than I'm used to working in. So now macaroons is not split the way it was before. So just one of those things. I know students ask me all the time, how do I not break this? So let's go ahead and pause this recording, and then we'll go ahead and start in on some graphics with the next part.